Go live. There it is. Okay. How y'all doing out there?
Oh, here we are.
Child. Golly. Okay. That goddamn TikTok, boy.
We'll stay on it for hours.
He cannot function now.
We literally just started 30 seconds ago.
Oh my goodness.
This is a new record for our stream, actually.
Because I'll be on the TikTok, and next thing I know, I'm like, oh shoot, it's 7:29. I should put down the TikTok.
Y'all go out there and research the video of Madison Cawthorn. This is not political, okay? We don't do that over on this one, but I got to tell you anyway. Research the video of Madison Cawthorn and his little friend in the car. They're in the car together, and just research this. I mean, that's all you got to do.
You need to shut up and stop talking.
Keep hands, feet, and objects to yourself unless you give consent. And I bet you he did before. So that ain't the first time.
That was not the first time.
Didn't seem to be the first time.
It won't be. It's not the last time.
No, you probably doing it right now.
Probably not.
Probably beaming up to Scotty right now as we speak.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my gosh. Oh my
No one hit the boat.
Right, Sienna.
I mean, anyway,
Rose your boat.
welcome everybody. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here.
You need to get in that boat and go swiftly across the stream. He's done. He's done.
I think in the tarot, wouldn't we call that the Six of Swords?
How swiftly you go depends on how fast you go.
How many holes are in your boat?
I'm gonna do a giveaway at the end. This had came and this her. So I'm gonna give this away. It's called Mystical Universe. So we'll do that at the end. So Tony, your announcements, if you would, please. But I also want you to share what you're doing with the tree and the whole prayers and everything too. That way I can know how to repeat it on tomorrow or on Sunday.
Well, I have wrapped the tree so everyone can go to my channel and see the tree being wrapped in fast motion because it took a long time. And so you can see that it was it was a ceremony that I wanted to share with you guys. And so now we're just waiting for prayers for peace to come in so that I can distribute them amongst all of our light workers who are participating in the ceremony. So if you have a prayer for peace, you can go to that tree video and leave your prayers underneath in the comment section. That would be awesome if you could do that. So that's what I'm doing this week. I'm still working on my website. It's coming along, and that's it.
Can people still pre-order your deck?
You can go to www.shininghawk.com and pre-order your deck. It says back order, but if you buy it, it'll be pre-order.
So when does the deck come out? I can't remember.
It's actually, I have a hard drop date of June 15th. I'm hoping and praying that the cards actually do come on time so that can happen. So that would be the only thing that sort of put a stop to that timeline. But everything else is ready to go. I'm so excited.
Oh, it's so soon. I'm excited for you. Oh, it's going to be a lovely deck.
There is Tony's video. Thank you, Terry. And if you want to leave prayers, leave them on that video right there. Because what she's doing is she's distributed them to people who are going to make videos for those prayers as well. So put your prayers in, and that way she can give them to those who need to do the prayers, and then we can hang them on the tree.
Yes, and it's shininghawkhealing.com if you want to go for the cards. Did I say that right?
Yes, ma'am. Okay. CM, got anything, everything?
Well, I don't have a stream for tomorrow, but what I do have is a pick a card reading that is going to go public early in the morning, tomorrow morning. And it's going to be a message from your future self. And doing that read today was actually so interesting. I really hope that a lot of you guys go and watch it. I hope it helps. That's basically what I'm up to. I'm still working on my Reiki Level 2 curriculum. And I hope to be teaching by June, maybe July. So that's been keeping me busy.
Red Lentil Healing, what do you have, man?
Nothing, because I was gone for like a week and a half, and then I'm in busy season at work. But still taking clients. I got clients this weekend, so I have new reading hours. So you can find all about that on redlentilhealing.com, and also go to redlentilhealing.com to buy products. I just had a whole bunch of people buy a whole bunch of candles. So I have to go make more candles in the next couple weeks. And thank you to everybody who bought out all the candles, because now that I need to get off my big fat rump and make more candles. So that's it. Oh, and we've got a horoscope reading coming up. I'm not showing the date yet, but I will put those details in the community tab once they are available.
And she just had an awesome chakra talk with Lauren Margulies. So
that was really good. I love that. That was fun.
Talking about the eclipse and the energy that is coming. That is something you need to hear, yes, especially if you are around people.
And I've done much better since then. I haven't screamed at anybody again. I've just been very cognizant. I'm like, hey, he's tripping because he's caught up in this vortex. So you don't need to get caught slipping either, Adrian. I forgot that even happened this week, because that felt like 2 weeks ago, because that's how long this week has been. So,
and mine has just flown by. I didn't realize it was even Friday. So I was like, oh, wait, I need to read with Lori. Oh, wait, I got to do, oh, wait, Sunday's coming too. So it's like all of that at one time was a realization this morning. And so I've been up since yesterday midnight, because I couldn't go to sleep because I had this all in one day, because I don't know how to manage my own life. I really don't. Me, I have Sunday or chakra talk.
Close enough. Same difference.
Copyright infringement.
Close enough.
Now we have the soul chat on at 6:00 Eastern on Sunday. And then we have our live stream, our regular one, 8:00 Eastern. The tarot classes will probably, our second one will be in June, probably June 2nd, like the first Friday in June. So we'll see, though, because Lori from The Way of Positive Change is also going to do one, and I don't want to clash because I also want to take hers too. So we'll work out some times and things, but it's going to be in June. No, July. June or July? Get yourself together, Jesus. July.
I would say it was July.
It's July. July 2nd, more than likely. So we shall start. And there's Jen Lynn Tarot's right there. So we will actually start with your question, ma'am. Does stigmata occur? And if it does, why? Now, stigmata, I had to look this up. I don't know nothing about this type of thing.
Yeah.
And if you are super empathic, apparently, then you may develop the wounds of Christ. You know, the hands and the head and the feet. You may like have some sort of bruise or abrasion or hell, a full long hole, I guess. So
everybody in the chat is checking their hands.
but here's the thing I want y'all to do up here. If your cards, just ask a yes, no. If your cards say no, then just stop. You don't have to try to fill in the blank. But because they could just be high, who knows? But there are a lot of examples throughout history of people who have had the stigmata. So if your cards do say that it does happen, why does it happen?
really weird. Oh, well, I thought that it might happen. I think some people do end up manifesting something like this. Some of it might just be like spirit uses that as an opportunity to help the person to like reconnect, like to maybe their own spirituality, or help them to just sort of think about, well, here we have Four of Swords, like think about sacrifice that, was made for them. This is the first time I've ever actually heard of it happening. Like, I had no idea what that was until you explained it. But I think it might happen.
There's a movie called Stigmata that's about the same thing.
Saint Francis of Assisi was the first one, I believe.
Like, because I keep getting the word psychosomatic, so I'm just gonna take that as it is. But that's what I have.
I get that it does. Long story short, it's not impossible to happen. It's about in the environment and things that are going on, there's so much anxiety, and actually the crux is the devil. So the just not pleasant energy that's in the environment. And I'm trying to be a nice way to put it, but y'all get what I'm saying. Satan showing his ugly monkey behind. And so that is ways for people to, with the Two of Cups, to deepen their spiritual connection to God, to the creator, because it actually starts off kind of, I look at this as not necessarily the pregnant woman thing versus like the actual creator is when I pull the card, is what I heard. So, yeah.
I had to pull out my little Italian deck. So I haven't used this in years. Oh my gosh. So I got that the center of the reading is the Four of Swords. So this is something that's very like personal and deep, maybe something that's more mental or something that's more a product of the mental rather than something more spiritual, I think, because it's not something that people are accepting as true, but who knows? It's, it's a twist of fate. Maybe it's real. I don't know. This card's, what's the celebration card about? I don't get it. in the past, it's something that brings in a lot of attention to the person who it's happening to. The Justice card is there's balance needed because there's a lot of confusion that goes on in the brain when something like this happens. I have the Page of Swords, but I don't. The end card is a Judgment card, and the church will have to judge if this is a true stigmata or not. And I don't know when the last one occurred. Does anybody know when the last discovery?
I did, but I deleted the thing by now. But it's been a while, mind you, but it's not been that long. It's I think 1900s though. Like early.
Yeah, I think it's just left up to the interpretation of the person who is judging, and I think that would be the Catholic Church, because they do all that kind of stuff, like exorcisms. You have to get their permission to have one, so you have to get their permission to state whether this is a stigmata or not.
I get no. When you said psychosomatic, it was very interesting. I got the Knight of Swords, erratic thoughts, and the Moon. So there's your erratic lunatic. Now, mind you, there's this crackpot, crack-eating person that was in the chat from time to time. And they might be there now, but I wish you would. I wish you would. I want you to.
Oh, don't say that.
I want to. I'm ready. Try me if you want to. I'll block you 4 times. Raggedy heifer. So this beady head, knobby knee jackal Here she come talking about I was at the crucifixion of Jesus Christ, and I wrote the Dead Sea Scrolls, and because somebody told her this, she didn't figure this out herself. She went to one of these people who got magic cards, and they told her that she was at the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. And I'm like, no, you wasn't. I wrote the Dead Sea. Why everybody with a past life got to have one that's that interesting? Why you can't be a farmer? It's why you be a farmer who like tic-tac-toe. I mean, there's 7 billion people on Earth. You was the important one in your past. Come on. What you need to do is figure out how to get the knots out your head.
Jen Lynn's like, he's talking about me.
She know who I'm talking about. That beady head. No,
Is this the same person that said she was pregnant with alien baby?
No.
Okay, I was gonna say that would just be the cherry on top.
That's one of them ones. I think she like bleach. I think she like bleach. It's like if you don't stop, she put ice in it and everything. Anyway, so after the state model, we're gonna stay on the religious bent for a second. So Sienna Rose Metaphysical did a reading a while back. You can go and check it about Doreen Virtue.
Oh God, that's an old one. I'm pretty
Doreen
sure it's still
Virtue was, in the new age. She made cards, and she's got a bunch of cards out there.
I
Actually,
think I have one of her.
I have some of her decks. I have one of them. Yeah,
they're very, very popular. She found Christ and turned like a 900 degree away from the new age. It's like sin now, and it's horrible, and it's the devil, and all that. And so there are actually a growing number of these people. I have
Is Becca in here?
yes. There's a growing number of these people on the YouTubes. I have come to find out that when they find Christ, what they used to do was the most evil thing in the world. All this stuff, these cards, and this is evil. This is the devil and all that. You should not be using this. You shouldn't be doing yoga and meditation. You shouldn't be using the law of attraction. All of that is evil. So what I want to know is, why do people or readers or yoga masters or whatever you call them, why do they, when they turn away from the new age community, do they turn to religion? Do they turn to Christianity more specifically? What is it? Is it something that Christianity appealed to them more? Is it this appealed to them less? Were they just convinced that this was evil? What is the reason for this conversion?
I got that it kind of boils down to unhappiness. They weren't happy doing their new age thing, and they, their challenge here, they enter the religious realm, and maybe they're kind of happy there, maybe they're not, but they're like, well, which is the less worse, like, which is the lesser of the two evils here? I just pick up there's like a lot of confusion sometimes with people who do this, make this change. Like it's almost like, yeah, it's almost like they're not really happy either way, like whatever they pick. There's something like fundamentally, I don't want to say missing, because it's always within us, like the joy and the happiness and love we can tap into. But it's like they didn't really tap into it when they were in the new age, habits and stuff like that. I just also pick up that now it's not everybody who makes this transition, but some of them, they're still like spiritually, I don't know, spiritually immature sounds like it's kind of insulting, but what else am I going to call it? Just still spiritually very young, and they haven't really found their way yet, or found what resonates with them, so they're moving on, trying to find something that resonates with them. That's what I got. I know a lot of people who have this like a similar story, but it's the other way around. They weren't happy with Christianity, and when they found New Age and spirituality, yeah, that's like you and me, Johnny. Found the New Age and spirituality, it was just like, oh my God, look what I was missing out on.
Mhm.
There's so much more. Yeah.
Yes, I felt chained for a very long time afterwards.
Yeah, because they chained you for a reason.
I was like, I remember being like 8 or 9 and being like so scared of going to hell because, well, yeah, everything was evil.
Mhm.
I've been told I'm going to hell so many times. I just like,
Oh,
okay.
me too. I'm just like, I'll see you there. I'll save you a seat.
There before you, but you'll be there.
Which one of us gets there first, we'll save the other one a seat.
I'll warm it up for you.
I get they were never really New Age to begin with.
Mhm.
They were, I'm going to just say it with seven swords, they were charlatans. They always saw it as the cup not full with the 5 of cups. It was never fully enriching for them. And their challenge, though, was it is lost. Like they never got what they were charlatans. I hate to say charlatan because not all of them were, but they weren't fully committed. They weren't fully in it. There was something there, something that they were trying to get into it for a reason that may not have been totally aligned, which is why it was so easy for them to walk away once they felt like they weren't getting what they wanted to get out of it. And it could actually be financial, could actually be something that they were looking for while they went away. And that's why they were able to change. There was something that came into the emotions that was like, you know what, it's time to change your perspective. Because really they were battle weary. This was not what they wanted to do. They had tried to hold on for so long, but ultimately they never really were into the movement to begin with. So it's not like they switched over. They just abandoned something that they never truly were 100% in to begin with.
Yeah. I got that. This was them. They're looking for the light. They were in the light. They had access to the light. But then something happened, and they're, in their gut, they were like, wait a minute, something, like you said, Adrian, somebody said something to them that said, you are on the wrong path. And they believed it because they didn't listen to their own voice, their own, fool that's on the edge of the precipice of change or whatever. When they were in it, I don't know if it was a lover or a family member or somebody who got to them and said, no, you're on the wrong track. You're going to hell. You're going down those stairs. You better stop it or I won't see you in heaven. And I really want to see you in heaven. So they changed their minds. And they figured, this particular way of life wasn't for them. And now they're like, yes, I am on the right path. Jesus is my savior. Yes. Jesus is your savior. Yes. Loving, but it's all about the shadow. They can't distinguish what is light and what is dark. So they're sort of right in between and sort of confused about it because I have this. So what's true? I don't know.
I think it's good. So I don't, just for the record, I do not have the 7 of Cups, the card of confusion, just for the record. But that's what I'm going to say it is. Because there's the 9 of Cups. 9 of Cups is fantasy, wishful thinking, wishes granted, that type of thing. There's a wish. I hope, I want, I wish. There is a separation, something you feel as though you may have been convinced this is a foolish thing to do. The fool walks off the cliff. Everybody around says this is disastrous because your head is up and your feet are going forward. You don't know their next steps, though, because that ain't your journey. But here, there's the revelation with the tower and the star. Now, here's where I get confusion. When you look up in the sky, what do you see? Do you see a planet or do you see a star? Which is which? So now all you got to do is Google it and look it up and you'll know which one is which. But they want a revelation. They want something to make sense.
Mhm.
And then you look up in the sky, you want to feel a part of it. That's kind of how people get into New Age in the first place, is they want to feel a part of the fabric of everything. Now, the problem is, comes along the crucified one, Jesus, and this is now a completely different ball game. And then Christian's job is to convince you everything is wrong except Christ. Christ is the way, the truth, and the life. So that is the only thing that you should have in your life that is of importance, is Christ. That is the way we were taught. Is not that we shouldn't be wearing this because it's a symbol of torture. No, this is what he did for us, and everything else is garbage except for Christ. P.S. though, Christ was not a Christian. I know it's in the title and everything, but he was not a Christian.
That confused me because he was Jewish.
Yeah.
He was killed by Christians.
Yeah.
Not that that's funny, people. I'm just laughing at.
I mean,
It's weird.
Laughing at Johnny.
Our early example
Too
of
But it's like when you say that New Age is bad, and now you found Christ. It's like you're equating Christ with something that's not you're creating something that's not tangible. How do you equate the two? It's not about that. The law of attraction is about energy and and you creating your own destiny. But
because the little girl said you shouldn't put so much power in yourself because it comes from Christ, and so you shouldn't be able to attract things to you. Now, the crazy thing is, now here's we ain't gonna stay on this forever, but I got to say this. Here's a little thing, a little piece for her and everybody else. New Age people have rituals. Christians do too.
Mm-hmm.
New Age people have prayers. Christians do too.
mm-hmm.
New Age people have law of attraction. Christians do too. You just don't call it that. But that is what you see. Time harvest. As long as the earth shall remain, it shall not cease. That is the same thing. So I know that you want just like Christmas and Easter. Those are pagan holidays.
Mm-hmm.
They got nothing to do with Jesus, either one. It's like, so
Like a hijack.
I get where the whole concept of Christianity is somebody else's thing and you just renamed it. That's all it is.
That's exactly it.
So, I mean, you can call everything else in the world evil if you want to, but just make sure when you point that mirror at everybody else, you take a gander once, twice.
I gotta say that the hardest life that I ever lived was when I was in the Christian church. So
It was restricting.
put that out there because it was
Mhm.
there was judgment, there was shunning, that kind of thing, and it just rubs me the wrong way when someone's just never mind.
Mhm.
Let it go.
Don't condemn me, bitch. It's like
Mm-hmm.
Because I know your pappy, your mammy, and all 5 of your children's daddies, and they are not the man that you're married to.
What? You can't try to bring good stuff into your life through the law of attraction because it doesn't have Christ in it, in the name. So
Yep.
I'd like to ask,
And then they have prosperity gospel.
yeah, because I was just thinking, I'd love to ask Bishop Eddie Longdong from the other side, how did all of that work out for him?
he couldn't take it with him. That's right.
really curious, and I'm not. This is a legitimate ass question, so don't tell me I'm going to hell. I just want to know how. I just want to ask Long Dong how all of that worked out in the end.
Because one of my messages that I never got to preach in the church because they wouldn't dare go for this. One of my messages, though, was what do you tell God when you get there and according to your religion, you stand before God and they weigh all of your accomplishments and blah, blah, blah. When you stand before God, what do you tell him when he asks you, how did you treat my people on earth? All of the gay people that Eddie Long and people like him protested against and hated and called names and all these type of stuff. Those were people that you should have been trying to convert to your Christianity instead of telling them that they're going to hell. Bring them into church first and then tell them they're going to hell. And then we got the answer to get you out of it.
And after you bring them in your church and then tell them to go to hell, don't have them give you oral sex in the back of the church.
Oh
Come
my
on,
God.
preach. Mm-hmm.
What?
Allegedly.
What?
Yeah, okay.
And he a good 16 minutes off his 18th birthday. Okay. You picked him up at the bus stop at the schoolhouse.
Meanwhile, his mammy is one of your top tigers and parishioners.
Mm-hmm.
You've known this little boy since he was 10, but I ain't enough.
Because you tell
that
me
is
what grown man
fascinating.
stand in the mirror like this and take a picture of himself and send it to an 18-year-old boy.
Mm-hmm. So you can see his booty cheeks in the back. See, listen.
In his bike shorts. You nasty bastard. Anyway,
Sorry.
so on this, because I want to know, what do you tell God when he asks you, why'd you treat people like that? What do you say? Anyway, what do the cards say? How about this? What do the cards say about the different forms of worship? Because everybody finds spirit, God, Jesus, Buddha, whoever, in a different way. What do the cards say about the different forms of worship, praise, whatever you call it? Is it a good thing? Is it a convoluted thing? Is it unnecessary? What is it? What do you guys say?
Oh, interesting. Okay. So I have people get at each other's throats about it from, sometimes. Sometimes it's just like, what I don't get is the different denominations of a certain religion or certain church. They disapprove of the way that each other does this pretty much the same thing. And then, of course, you get people of completely different religions, and there's the whole you're wrong and I'm right, and you're doing the wrong thing and I'm doing the right thing. Spirit's going, that is so childish. It's like this kid on this card. It's so childish. There's no need. There really is no need, and it doesn't get us anywhere. It's like you're not nearly as powerful and strong looking as you think. Like, he's pretending to joust, but he's on a bicycle with a pot on his head and a plunger. It's just a game. And yeah, it's just so unnecessary, the disagreement that people have. Now, I have here with the death card, it's almost like we don't have to do it in the way that we do. Some people go to church and they sing, and some people have their hands up or whatever. And like, if that makes you happy, then sure, whatever. But you don't actually have to do it that way. Let it be known in the works that you do and the good intentions that you have. And like, not just good works, like just because it looks good, but because you are actually sincere and you care about other people or whatever. It shouldn't be showy. It doesn't have to be showy, and it should not be, a big display. In some churches, it's ridiculous. I'm just going to say. It's just like, so, and sometimes, that emotional connection that everybody has, I'm not going to invalidate that at all, but it's just like kind of excessive sometimes. It's just worship and express your spirituality in your own way. there's no wrong way to do it as long as you're not forcing anybody or judging anybody or hurting anybody.
Yeah.
Read my cards. Tony, what you get?
I get that, it's people are looking for a firm foundation, something to latch on to, something to put their fears of security and and they're wanting somewhere that they can find hope for their lives. So, it's not so much the different religions. I mean, and I was baptized Christian, and I don't have anything against the Christian faith or the Catholic faith or the whatever faith you have. It's just if you take your faith and use it as a cudgel to hurt other people, to keep people down, to make them feel less than, to whatever it is that your ego is telling you that you're superior somehow because you worship this way or that way. That's what I take exception to. And everybody does, like Sienna says, everybody worships in their own way, and you should just allow that to happen and not be so judgmental about other people, period. That's all I got. Mic drop. Boo. Bless you. One more time.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Oh.
Sorry. Sorry. This is what it's supposed to be. Spirit says, 4 of Wands, 7 of Cups. This place where this gives you this foundation, this support that is supposed to actually give you this family, this growth, this happiness, this complete fulfillment with the 10 of Cups. However, somewhere, okay, I gotta just see what order. It's telling me to read a different order. Somehow, though, this is what it is right now, and what it's become. There's a lot of false promises, a lot of things that aren't necessarily aligned with spirit, with promise. That is actually what we have with the state of multiple religions too. It's just a lot of anxiety. This, instead of am I walking in the right way, it is what am I going to make sure I do so I don't go to hell, or I'm not, if you're Buddhist, I don't have attachments and I'm not in nirvana, if I'm, whatever your thing is. And that's where the focus has become. Spirit says we want whatever it was that was in the past that was successful, and that's what we need to go back to. I think before we got whatever, and I was trying to pull more cards to see, but somehow, some way, there's something came in that caused either too many religions broke out, or how they started teaching with the Queen of Wands, with the support, the King of Cups, caused the confusion. But we need to go back. That's what Spirit's saying. Whatever was the catalyst that caused the confusion, we need to go back and walk away from this. The false promises, the stress, you got to walk away from that, is what it's telling me.
That's so interesting. Because I did not expect this answer. Because everybody's pretty much gotten the same thing as, it's fine. It's not a bad thing. You all can find different avenues to the same place. But that's what I thought it was going to say. The cards were going to say, hey, it's a great thing that you have so many different forms, blah, blah, blah. But what everybody seems to be saying is this is causing unnecessary behavior. And that's what I got too. I got the 8 of Swords and the 5 of Wands, the first 2 cards. It's like the 5 of Wands in the original depictions got people and they all have different clothes on. That's your symbol of diversity, and diversity not working because there's too many ideas coming in at the same time and you don't know who's on whose side and who's winning and that type of thing. And then the 8 of Swords is restricting because that's what religion does, not spirituality. Not your connection to the divine and all that type of stuff. Anything with rules is meant to restrict, period. Now, mind you, they may fit you. So you may be fine with those restrictions. I don't need to do that anyway. I don't need to do this anyway. I'm comfortable with this, this, and this. Because that fits you. That works for you. Some people find a lot of help in everything. There's your 9 of Cups again. So that spirituality and that wisdom. and it's singing bowls on top of that. So that was also one of the things that, Anyway, then there's the Tower and the Four of Cups. Upheaval and dissatisfaction. So it's not, the forms of worship is not even the issue. It's the restriction and the fighting. Wars have been fought over religion. So that's the problem. That's the core of the problem. Not the people and not the form of worship you do, as long as it's not hurting anybody anyway. So go right ahead. You want to pray to the goddess of plums? Go right ahead. Who cares? Just don't hurt nobody. Don't restrict nobody. Don't tell nobody what to do.
I heard this guy say that he preferred the organized religion because he just wanted somebody to tell him what to do.
Some people like rules. They like parameters.
They like parameters. They like to be told what to do, where to go, who to speak to, what do I do today, and what's going to happen today. And when I go here, this is going to happen. I know it's going to happen. When you're out there in New Age land, it's the wild, wild west. You don't know what's going to go on. So, and that's the beauty of it, is that it's unknown. This other thing, this organized religion, we know what that looks like. It's this new horizon that we're sort of going towards. That's the thing that is exciting, is that it's something that is something that you can touch yourself. You don't have to go through this guy over here with all of this crown and the robes and the this and the swinging that and all that stuff. Right to the source. And you don't have to go through the intermediary and go into a little stall and talk about your life and your
business.
Give all your business up.
I have so many more things to say, but I'm trying to keep this whole chat and stream from going to hell, so I'm gonna keep it to myself.
People don't like uncertainty for the most part,
right?
And it's the uncertainty that makes a lot of people afraid. So I guess it makes sense why some people are more comfortable in the organized religion, because it's comfortable. Doesn't mean it's necessarily like best for them. You never know, but it's comfortable.
So, well, speaking of uncertainty, there is a man by the name of Richard Moore. He is on death row and set to be executed by firing squad or electric chair. Now, mind you, this ain't 1710. So,
barbaric. He must live in Texas.
I think it was one of the Carolinas, like South Carolina.
Probably South Carolina.
South Carolina. I'll have to look it up because I remember it was one of them.
Barbaric ass state does he live in? That's even an option.
I know it's one of them places that drink dark liquor out of a brown paper bag. So it was.
Hey! Don't touch that. Don't touch that.
You're a little too close to home, Johnny.
I'm offended.
I need you, first of all, stop admitting things right now.
Judge me, judge not. Judge not.
What's in that bag?
Don't you judge me.
Capri Sun. This is fruit flavor or something. Well, one of them fruits.
Mind, yo, and business. That's what's in this little bag right now. And no, your children can't have it.
Adrian be out there with that 40.
With the Crown Royal bag. Come on now. And don't get it.
Take it and put a bunch of quarters in it after that.
Don't come for me. I don't know.
You got quarters and tobacco down in there because you roll your own cigarettes. What's really
Do they still sell Seagrams in that purple bag?
No, they don't.
Oh, okay.
Because
we use those bags for everything.
I answered that question very quickly, very low.
I noticed that.
No, Adrian, Johnny just told you to stop admitting.
Some people know how to have fun, though.
Yes.
Thank you so much for the super chats.
The only liquor that still comes in a bag, Tony, is Crown Royal.
Oh, Crown Royal, yeah.
And they said they'll never give up the bag because that's their trademark.
Oh,
So,
And you can reuse the bag for so many things.
so many things.
And we do.
So useful.
I mean, and they do. I don't drink.
some hipster is running their marketing, and they said just consider it upcycling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because why would you throw it away though? It's like this.
Yeah,
It's all
they're
velvety
good.
and it's
Okay.
other than Crown Royal written on top.
You know what?
Use a seam ripper and pull the embroidery up.
Before we go live, before we finish the question, ask a question while this is still in my mind. If you date a person who keeps all the prophylactics in a Crown Royal bag, is that cute?
You know what? At least they're reusing the bag for something. And at least they're being careful.
You know what?
That's all I gotta say.
Sienna, this is why you're one of my favorite people on this planet. Because I never thought of it that way. And that is so actually true. They're being safe and they're recycling.
The bag full.
3/4. Yeah. Is it? I'm just so Sienna votes no. Tony, what's your vote?
Oh, no. What's the
Open the
question?
window now.
I forget the question.
The question is the person who keeps the prophylactics in the Crown Royal bag, is that a little tacky? Her mama says practical. Sienna says practical.
I think it's practical. If
Maybe it's the only reusable bag you have on you.
he must do a lot of things that require him to carry a huge crown.
To be fair, there is sometimes a connection between alcohol and those activities.
Showing up on site with the toted over your back, your shoulder. Well, here we go. Just empty it out like this. It's not okay. Wait, Johnny, what's your answer?
So no, say whatever you was gonna say.
No, what's your answer?
No, because see, here's the thing. I started judging real hard, and then I remembered I can't actually judge
Because you do the same.
because it was okay. Y'all judge me in the comment section if you want to. You go right ahead. It was a conversation Adrian and I was having because she made this spray called Love Come Down, right?
I remember this. I know where this is going. Wait, what are you about to tell? No, I'm stopping the story.
Why not?
Story. No, tell
I'm
yourself.
not going to get it and play show and tell. I'm just saying.
No, I'm
that-
not going to let you tell the story. I'm stopping you right
Okay.
now. Stopping you now. Stopping you now. No.
I need water.
Because the thing is, I didn't judge you then. I'm not judging you.
I'm going.
And really, in hindsight, we should have debriefed after that, but we didn't, so it's okay. I'm not letting you put yourself out there like that. Nope, NC.
your imagination.
So it's the same friend. It's, by the way, nobody I ever dated.
Obviously.
My same friend who almost pooped on himself at the King Center. My friend Deltronics, he's the one who keeps his prophylactics. Still to this day, and this man is like 45 years old, keeps his prophylactics in a Crown Royal bag.
You never know when you bump into a friend or two.
Just saying.
Or eight.
It's not sexy, but
I mean, the whole contraption ain't. So, I mean,
It's not. It is actually.
now mind you, you could go get you, something that looks like something, say Gucci on the front or something, but Crown Royal, okay.
No, he just said it was there and it holds. Because okay,
I
He
mean,
said-
personally,
he said it's deep and wide and holds a lot, so therefore it holds the size that he needs.
and they do,
So, like,
and they do.
Listen, I saw you when you got at the pool last week. You are not that big. You are not that big. You can use the tarot card.
That was the
back.
pool, though. To be fair,
Whatever.
you soak anything in water, it shrivels.
Johnny, he was up to his knees. He only got into his knees. So no. Absolutely.
I mean, you didn't say they was all full of gold wrappers. You just said they was full of anyway.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Guys, I'm sorry.
No,
Never
never look at a Crown Royal bag the same.
Yeah, now I'm gonna look at how many condoms will fit in there. It's almost like how many jelly beans in the jar.
That's the new Tootsie Roll commercial.
His best was 52. He held 52 prophylactics in a Crown Royal bag. So.
The sad part is if he still got all 52. It's like, just leave them at home because obviously something ain't working.
I'm not gonna get into this man's love life.
You don't need them. Put one in your sock and call it a day.
He puts his
Just remember to take it out before you go to the airport.
Directions unclear. Wore it as a sock.
And please, as a former sex ed teacher, don't put your prophylactics in your socks. Then it causes the lubrication to dry up faster. Therefore, that will break, which makes it more susceptible pregnancy or STD. So please keep your prophylactics anywhere but in your socks and your wallet.
In the Crown Royal bag.
At least
They're
the
not
Crown
very
Royal
easy.
Drink responsibly.
Just saying. Just saying.
Richard Moore is going to be executed in South Carolina.
Oh my god, I forgot this was even the
I'm
question.
sure,
Oh, I knew. I was just waiting for it to get. Yeah.
I'm sure this is not funny, but
No, okay, I'm stuck laughing.
Okay, all right.
now, mind you, he did kill somebody.
He did.
He killed a convenience store clerk.
Hmm.
So I'm a person who believes in the death penalty. You go right ahead. Now I understand it's barbaric, but that's who I am. So he is, however, going to be executed by electric chair or firing squad. They sent it to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court has halted his execution for the moment. So what I want to know is what is going to happen to him. Is it going to be something simpler, or are they just going to say, nope, go through with the firing squad or the electric chair? Jesus. Stop.
Just like, give him lethal injection at least. Like, make it quick.
But the thing with the lethal injection is they have, like, a lot of places are having trouble getting access to the drugs, and sometimes the drug cocktail doesn't really work as intended, so they suffer, and they don't really want that to happen.
I mean, at that point, why are you trying to be
sympathetic?
because you're killing them anyway. I mean,
and you know what's weird is when they talk about like a botched, like lethal injection where it actually doesn't kill them, and they have to, like, I don't know, do they do it again? Do they do something else? Like
inject them in the heart, I think, is what they do after that, or something like that, because their body is starting to seize and go into convulsions and shock and stuff, and so
yeah. What I have here is they're trying to figure out which one will work best. What's going to work best? What has in the past consistently been successful? What's had fewer complications? They have to agree on it. The challenge is the Lover's card. They just can't agree on it right now. Which one? And I do agree with you. It's weird that I guess like to bring the ethics into the question. You're already killing somebody who killed somebody, but like, what's going to cause like the less suffering? What's going to be the least fatiguing for the people who have to like do the execution? It's really uncomfortable for, I'm picking up, it's really uncomfortable for some of them on the Supreme Court to think about, because they're, it was, the whole lethal injection thing was really, really common, and it was supposed to be like the easier, quicker way, but they got to figure out, well, okay, I don't know if in their case they don't have access to the drugs or what the situation, why they can't do it, but it's like, the feeling I get is almost like we don't really want to do either, but we have to do something.
Yeah.
Because we already told him he's going to die. So, like, that decision has already been made. So we got to figure this out. They just haven't figured it out yet. That doesn't really answer the question. But I guess my answer is they haven't figured it out.
Right now, they've temporarily walked away. Challenge though is this Knight of Wands. They're not going to stay his execution. They're going to go through with it. Ace of Pentacles, Three of Cups. Unfortunately, right now though, they're trying to, like Sienna's saying, get eye to eye, figure out the best way they're going to do it. Expect this to kind of drag out a little bit longer with the Chariot. It's going to take a minute for them to come up with a plan in the environment. With the Chariot and a Three of Wands, because I think what they're trying to do is there's somebody, maybe when I pulled this card with the King of Swords, I'm getting like somebody in the it's South Carolina, right?
Mhm.
South Carolina Supreme Court, one judge is going to be able to make a final decision about how they're going to do it going forward. So his is the case that's going to determine the best way to do, I hate to say best way to do execution, but you guys know what I mean. The most humane way.
Effective, yeah.
There's a lot of wishful thinking because I pulled some clarifiers. They're really confused about there's a lot of options and they have the way that they want to go. They wish to go with the Nine of Cups, but they've got to figure it out. But they don't have the answer yet. So he is going to be unfortunately executed, or fortunately, unfortunately, however you want to look at it. I guess it's the victim's family, they would say unfortunately. Or fortunately, his family would say unfortunately executed. But I keep getting he's going to be the catalyst for how South Carolina decides in the future how they will do their executions.
Thank you, Cold Toes.
Yeah, I get the same thing that they put the stay of execution and in hopes that they will come up with a plan. People don't know what to do, which is more humane. I could cut to the chase and go firing squad straight to the heart, right? But they've got all of this other stuff. They got the Three of Cups as well. They have a foundation of how they used to do it, and like Sienna said, that the cocktail is not effective as maybe it used to be because they can't get the right chemicals to do it correctly. So they have to choose wisely. Like I said, this is a tower moment for that person. But I think it's on the bottom of the deck. I think that firing squad is probably going to be the thing. And what they do with the firing squad is only one person has the real ammunition, and then everybody else has dummies. So nobody knows who shoots the kill shot, right? Mm-hmm. So inhumane, sitting in a chair, electricity going through. I don't know. But I think that it's probably going to come up as firing squad.
I mean, the whole thing is inhumane. Death penalty period is inhumane, but
they murdered to begin with.
But you murdered somebody, which is also inhumane.
Yeah.
10 of Wands, there's your burden. And Queen of Swords, Page of Swords, there's your injection. The 6 of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles going with something that has worked in the past, something a little more reliable. So I think they will go injection, but we shall see. Now, mind you, do what you want. I seen in the chat, he can't be hanged. He is an African American, and so that would look very bad.
That would be a bad look.
Yeah, that would look very bad here in 2022.
Not to mention, I don't think any in any of the United States of America, any state that has the death penalty does by hanging anymore. That and like
Because hanging is not even guaranteed to work, because what you're supposed to do is drop and your body weight snaps your neck. That doesn't always happen. So
sometimes they suffocate.
yeah.
And I was gonna say, even in Canada, the last time that they ever hanged somebody, that was like decades ago.
Yeah.
We don't even do that.
now, mind you, we don't do firing squad either, but
They do in South Carolina.
not to say an electric. Anyway, so piggybacking on that,
We gotta shoot them. Something.
by piggybacking on that, scientists they have confirmed, at least right now, you know how they do. Every 3 days, there's a new study. Coffee's good for you. Coffee's bad for your heart. Coffee's good. So they come up with, the headlines run away with not the scientists. That life does indeed flash before your eyes when you have a near-death experience. They said that is 100% accurate. It actually does flash before your eyes as a part of your brain. They isolated and figured it out. Why is my question. What is the purpose of such a thing? From the card standpoint, anyway. Oh, commercial break. Here is the video once again. Leave prayers for peace on that video for Tony's tree wrapping video. Leave the prayers in that video. That way she can distribute them to those who are doing the prayers.
Really? They had a hanging
1989?
Texas. Of course, Texas. Oh my God.
It would be a damn
It
Texas.
would be Texas. Thank you for listening.
Damn you, Texas.
Correcting us. That's the
They
freaking
probably still do it. They just ain't told nobody.
right. We got it in Huntsville. They're still doing it. I'm gonna tell you about Texas. If you kill someone, they will kill you back quickly without hesitation. The last thing I'm gonna catch a case in.
So I have with the whole like the life review or whatever, the life flashing and stuff, I have it's like a nice recap, birth to death. And it helps them to understand the fact that holy shit, I am dead. And instead of just 1 minute you're alive and the next boom, you're somewhere else and you're like, oh my God, where am I? That life review or whatever. This, I guess, is just kind of a spiritual perspective. I don't know physically why it happens. Like, I don't know why that part of the brain like does that or whatever. But it just seems like it's almost like a primer. Welcome to death. Here's the life you just had. Let's go over it real quick. And in each person's lifetime, I think that even people who have lived really horrible lives will still have some kind of proud memory or happy memory that happened somewhere in there. And the life review is a really good opportunity to go back and experience like those feelings of happiness or comfort or nostalgia or pride or whatever all over again. I also have that it shows you the balance between like your dark and your light, your good works, your bad things you've done, the good choices you've made, the mistakes. It shows you everything in an unbiased kind of view. It primes you for some of the work that you might have to do when you cross over.
Yeah.
That's what I have.
Sienna, that's exactly what I got. Justice and the Eight of Cups. It's about this, giving you a preview of the karmic path that you chose in this life. It's giving you a preview of what you're about to have to work through when you cross over. So you're not surprised.
That's true.
Tony, you're muted.
All right. So memories of love flash before your eyes before you take, that trip through the door. Go down the hole, Alice. So you're looking at the good things and the bad things that you did. And I hear that, what's that? The hourglass. These are the days of your life. Da, na, 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 na.
This is your life.
Did you actually live your life, or did you stay on the precipice of it? This is where you defend your life, you stand your ground, you find where your passions have led you to this place of transformation. So yes, I believe that there is a life review, and it happens within the blink of an eye, I think.
Thank you, Jeffrey. Okay. Everything I'm about to say, you can disregard absolutely if you want. But I did get the justice and the wheel of fortune. So there's your karmic. Also justice, fairness, balance, honesty, truth. How did you live within that karmic wheel? Now, this is what I heard. Right. There are angels and guides and spirits and things that are with you that are, look at it this way. Again, disregard if this sounds out left field for you. There are, when you come into this world, you're walking around spirit in the shell of something else, right? So your spirit, and you have your guides, angels, blah, 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 all that stuff with you. They too take note and record of your life. When you leave here, even if it's long and slow, the disconnect is sudden. There is no slow death or slow connection. It's a disconnect. The switch is turned off. This part might die slow, but the disconnect is instant. And so you have all of these people or ancestors, angels, whatever, taking note with the Hierophant and then your Queen of Cups, Queen of Pentacles. When something is about to happen and you're about to die and it flashes before your eyes, you see all that they have taken note of. It goes by real fast because you were about to disconnect. And then you didn't, and so you carry on. That's what I got. It's like, I don't understand this story, but there you go. Now, giveaway time. Again, it is a deck that I will send you at my earliest convenience. I believe that might be tomorrow because I have to go there anyway. It is called the Something Tarot, the Mystical Universe Tarot. A number 1 through 50. First one that I see, not the one who types it first. The one that I see first is the one who wins. Go now. And nobody's going.
What is it, Johnny? What is it?
Oh, I got it. I got it. This is my challenge to myself. Okay, Jenny, you already got it. So Jenny guessed 10 and it was 10. So Jenny, send me your your 597,000. I'll send it to you anyway. Jenny, so you win. Send me your address and all your information to send it to you. And thank you, lucky girl. Send it to TarotsApprentice@gmail.com. And I will send this to you probably tomorrow. I'll send it out to you. So thank you, Shining Hawk Healing, and Red Little Healing, and Sienna Medical Healing.
It's been a long night.
I'm gonna have to go get in the bag and see if it's something else in there because I can't. Tony, Adri, and Sienna. Let me say
There
that.
we go.
Thank you all for joining me. And again, if you want to send prayers for us to read off, leave them on Tony's video. We will be doing another horoscope, so be on the lookout for those dates. Sienna has a pick a card reading coming tomorrow. And
Tomorrow morning.
tomorrow morning, and I have a soul chat on Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern, and we will go live at 8 p.m. Eastern, where we will talk about Madison Cawthorn and his little touchy feel in the car. So,
That boy that felt him up keeps his prophylactics. And
it's a Crown Royal bag under the seat.
That's how
Oh
you
my God.
roll.
Oh Jesus! Maybe they don't know nothing about Crown. It's probably Zima. You remember Zima? That's right.
Something like Everclear or something.
Cool Zima. Cool Zima.
Oh Jesus! Okay. We will see.
That is
Yes, Prairie. Go type it in somewhere on the Googles.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'll see y'all Sunday.
Hi guys.
Bye bye.